Good morning, students. I hope you all are going good and are doing your homework well in time. In previous assignment, we discussed about human eye. Today, we will discuss about power of accommodation of a human eye. But before starting today's topic, we will recapitulate what we have learned in the previous class. We have learned human eye and its different parts and the function of these parts. Human eye is very important organ which makes us unable to see this beautiful world. Few of its important parts are: first one, cornea. It is the front transparent part of the eye which is blushed outwards. It serves as a window of the eye as light from the objects to be seen enters the eye through the cornea. Next is pupil. As you can see in the picture, it is a hole present at the center of the iris and controls the amount of light to be entered in the eye. Ciliary muscles. These are the muscles which hold the eye lens in proper place and control the focal length of the eye lens according to the distance of the object in front of the eyes. Next one, retina. It is a sensitive membrane situated at the back side of the eye and acts as a screen of the eye where image of the object is formed. Next important part, iris. It is a circular diaphragm present behind the cornea with a hole in its center. It adjusts the size of the pupil and at the same time is also responsible for the color of the eye as it contains colored pigments. Eye lens. It is a double convex lens present behind the pupil and made up of the fibrous jelly-like material. It is held in position by the ciliary muscles. Now optic nerve. These are the nerves which connects the rod shape and cone shape cells to the retina to the brain and transfers electrical signal to the brain. I hope you all remember these parts of the eye. Now coming to today's topic, power of accommodation. There are two new terms in this topic, rod cells and cone cells. Rod cells, light sensitive cells which enable us to see in dim light are rod cells. Cone cells, these cells are sensitive to bright light and causes the sensation of colors in our eye. Now what is power of accommodation? It is the ability of human eye to adjust its focal length to form sharp and clear image of the object at different positions from the eye with the help of ciliary muscles. As you can see into the picture. In the above figure, you can see the incident rays are parallel to each other. That is, the object is at infinity, a very far away distant object. The light enters through the eye and after passing through the eye lens, it focuses at retina. All the incident rays are joined at retina and forms the image at retina. Now, when the image is formed at retina, so the distant image, the eye lens is relaxed. But when the object is nearby, so we have to give stress on our eyes, the eye lens becomes thicker. As you can see in the below figure, the light rays now are not parallel to each other which are incident on the eye lens. After passing the eye lens, they are again meeting at retina. This is done by the power of accommodation of eye with the help of ciliary muscles. Now, what is far point and near point? farthest distance from the eye so that sharp and clear image of the object is formed on the retina without straining the eyes. Generally, the farthest point for a normal human eye is considered as infinity. As you can see in the picture, parallel rays represent the object is at infinity. After striking the lens, they are meeting at retina, the focal point of our eye lens in this situation. Now coming to the near point, minimum distance of an object from the eyes of which the sharp and clear image is formed at retina without strain in our eyes. Generally, the near point is considered about 25 centimeter from our eyes. As you can see in the figure, the eye lens is a bit thicker to make the focal point on retina itself. Now coming to persistence of vision. Persistence of vision. It is the impression of an object seen by the eye that persists on the retina for 1/16th of a second even after the object is removed. If another object is seen before this time, the impression of two merges to give us the sensation of continuity. This property of eye is called persistence of vision, overlapping of two images. If second image is seen before, the persistence of first image doesn't disappear. With help of this video, we can further understand. We are having a sparrow and a cage, and when we rotate this arrangement very quickly, we see that the sparrow sees inside the cage. This is due to persistence of vision. Now we are having two eyes. So why we are having two eyes? Have you ever bothered about this? We are having advantages of these two eyes. With help of this animation, we will see. There are several advantages of our eyes having two eyes instead of one. It gives a wider field of view. A human being has a horizontal field of view of about 150 with one eye, but with two eyes it increases by 30 degree and becomes 180 degree. Our two eyes are placed on the front of our heads and are separated by a few centimeters. Each eye sees a slightly different image. Our brains combine two images into one, using the extra information to tell us how close or far away things are. Now let's play this animation. Why do we have two sets of eyes instead of one? You don't know? Okay, understand this better. Close your right eye. Now, are you able to see the table kept on your right side? You are not able to see it, right? Okay, let me tell you why. Both our eyes work together and help us to see and judge the precise view correctly. Having two eyes provided us a good view. When both our eyes are open, we get a horizontal field of view of about 180 degree. But one of our eyes closed, we can see a view of about 150 degree only. We are not able to view 20 to 30 degree. Hence, you were not able to see the table when one eye was closed. Did you know that our eyes see the same object at slightly different angle? You don't believe? Alright, look at this object. Both your eyes see the object like this. When you see from your left eye, the object will look like this. When you see from only your right eye, it look like this. Our eyes send these slightly different images to the brain. The brain blends these images together to make three-dimensional image of the object. Hey, what is the use of this three-dimensional image? It helps us to judge how far or near the object is. Having two eyes enable us to judge the distance of the object or depth at which the object is placed from us. So with this, we come to the assessment of today's topic. Your first question goes like this: whose action, being the change in focal length of an eye lens? We all know those are ciliary muscles. Now you have to define the following terms. Your first term is rod cells. Yes, light sensitive cells which enable us to see in the dim light. Next are cone cells, sensitive to bright light and causes sensation of colors in our eyes. Next is far point, farthest distance from the eye, so the sharp image of the eye is formed on the retina without any strain. And last one is near point, minimum of distance of an object from the eye of which the sharp and clear image is formed at retina without any strain. I hope you have understood all the aspects of power of accommodation. Now concluding our topic with the summary. The ability of human eye to adjust its focal length to form sharp and clear image of the object at different position from the eye with the help of ciliary muscles is known as power of accommodation. Light sensitive cells which enable us to see in the dim light are called rod cells. Third point, cone shaped cells are sensitive to bright light and causes sensation of color in our eyes. In the last, there is homework for you. You have to solve assignment number 23. Thank you.